Welcome to Iceland. This is day one. We're in Reykjavik. We had a very lovely spa day yesterday, didn't we, Brie?
So good. We spent 5 hours, 6 hours at a natural hot pool, spring,
Yeah.
whatever you call it.
It's the Blue Lagoon, and they've got this like beautiful spa. So we went there and checked it out. It's all natural, but it sort of smells like eggs. Brie hates boiled eggs. I love to eat them in the car and on planes, so it was very second nature to myself. But now we're packing up the car. We're going to start driving along the south coast, and we're going to go on a couple of hikes along the way. But yeah, this is pretty much day one. Let's do it. Unorganized. I took all of my stuff from Killy, put it in a bag, and sent it home. Been traveling for like 3 or 4 months. And yeah, we hadn't booked Iceland. So all the stuff I sent home for Killy, really I should have with me. But we're doubling down on hiking gear, and North Face is providing us. Surely there's a lot of Minecraft fans out there. I used to strip mine for diamonds, for the ravines.
So we're 2 different.
Alright, we just got to our first place in Iceland. We're about to go for 8 to 10k, just zone 2. Little jog, been in the car all day, so it'll be nice to like get out and just run. Plans to test these out as well. Got some new Hokas, which I want to test, like specifically for trail running. So yeah, should be good. We've been on the got the template in here, that'd be great. I think this is downloaded, but yeah, that's fine. Desperate times call for desperate measures. We ain't getting desperate, we just getting better. You get all the shine if you endure the pressure. You cheat the hustle. We made it to Iceland. Wraps up day 2. It's Sunday here at the moment. It's a very crazy day. Did some work this morning, and then we drove all the way to Gullfoss, which is like 3 hours away. Went and saw a massive waterfall, and then we drove a little bit further to Curlingfjord. I'm gonna get the name. Curlingfjord. And it was really cool. It had like these crazy thermal hot springs that were like boiling out of the water. It was super, super windy, but it was all of these sort of rainbow sandstone colored mountains that crossed over each other. And there were awesome walkways and paths everywhere. So that was really cool. Tomorrow we are driving to our next place. So we are driving along the east coast. It's like essentially the southeast of Iceland. And we're gonna go all the way east, and then we're gonna work our way up, and we're gonna do a big loop all the way around. Now we're at a bit of a tomato glasshouse / farm to table style place. So we're gonna enjoy some good food and then back home. I still have to do a threshold interval session, or an interval session. So it's not that I want to do it, but I've said I'm gonna do it. So once you make that contract with yourself, you've got to do it. Well, yeah, that's it. I said I would. Alright, we just finished up a week of training. It's Sunday. Had to run at 9 p.m, but the promises you make with yourself are the most important promises. How can anyone expect you to keep their promises if you can't keep your own? So I said I was going to do it. Didn't do it this morning. And I've been running in the evening. Body just feels a little bit warmer, particularly when it's cold out. So yeah, I think it's important you still do it and you get it done. So today we did a VO2 max session. It was pretty rough. It was 3 sets of 3 times 600 meters at a 90 to 95% heart rate. Ended up running about 3:15s on the 600 meters, which is good because we need to get some speed up for high rocks. Now, in here, got a nice little sauna. Just gonna do like a 15-minute session. And then got one call, and then it's bedtime. Good day. Good day. We went out to 2 of the big like natural falls. One that's like a thermal sort of hot pool with like boiling water, and the other one that's a big waterfall. And then tomorrow we're driving along the east coast. So more exploring, but yeah, a couple of meetings in the morning, and then we'll go from there. We are packing up and getting ready to move to the next place. But spent this morning, got up at like 6 o'clock, been working since then, so it's 9:30 now. So got a good 3 hours in. A lot of people ask why am I moving around so much? I think I know when I go back to Bondi, we're getting an office, we're going to be like properly locked in, working really hard. Not that we're not working hard now, but we're going to be stuck or situated in one place. And I think for a lot of my life, that has scared me a little bit, being stuck in one place. I think I have a fear of being trapped Hence why I built my own business, built my life that's sort of on my own terms. But part of growing up is that you need to start compromising. Ultimately, if I want to have a family one day, if I want to be in one place, the compromise is that you can't go everywhere and travel all the time. So it's part of growing up, but because of that, I think I'm just like squeezing everything I can. And when I was reflecting for my birthday, I got asked the question, what do I want to be remembered for when I turn 80? And I think I realized one of the biggest things I want to be remembered for is I want people to just be like, fuck, he squeezed everything he could out of life and he lived so many different lives. So that's like an important thing for me. Not so much from the perspective of what other people think of me, but just how I want to remember my own life. I don't want to look back with any regret. I don't want to look at 80 years of, I wish I did that, if only I did this. I want to look back on 80 of years of, thank God I did that, how fun was that, how exciting was that. I want a big, thick book, or in this case, a library of videos, YouTube library, Instagram library of all of my memories of all the things that I've done. And that's part of documenting it as well, so that when I age and the memory lessens, I'm going to have an ability to look back and show not only and remind myself, but also show my kids, show my family. Instead of a lookbook, the modern age lookbook's going to be a YouTube library. I love exploring nature. So like Iceland's always been on the bucket list for me. It's got such a diverse nature. You literally drive 10 minutes and it's completely different. Goes from like green to like volcanic ash to like sandstone to like desert, back to coastline, all in the space of about 40 minutes. We're driving along the east coast currently. We're about to go to 2 stops. The first one is Floss, which is a waterfall that you can walk around the back of. There's a lot of waterfalls here and they're really, really cool, particularly this time of year where you get a lot of the glacier melt. Coming to the end of summer, but you get these amazing glacier melts, so the waterfalls are really, really going for it. They're falling. And then we're also going to go to Black Sand Beach, which is meant to be amazing. You're looking out onto the North Atlantic Sea, so it's like proper cold. It's definitely cold. They said you've got to be careful that you don't get swept up off the beach, but it's very cool. That was George, our lovely videographer, who's joined us for this trip. And yeah, we're about to pack up. We stayed in this like tree house, as you can sort of see around, and we're going from here along the east coast to our next spot, which is a little cabin. It's a cozy little cabin that's got like a roof, grass rooftop, which would be really, really cool. So yeah, pretty busy morning, but now on the road, I'm going to take my laptop so I can work in the car, and Bree's going to kindly drive, and we'll go to the next spot. Either having arrived at a desired direction or like.
Think you can? I haven't eaten. I'm not going to be in a good mood.
Someone forgot the protein bars this morning, so Bree's a bit, she's a bit angry. Day 4, we're heading up to the glacier. We're going to go hike through the crevasses. So we're going to go check it out. We've got this, and then we're heading to our last place along the east coast. And then we're doing this big drive tomorrow. Tomorrow's like 6 hours of driving, and we're going to go all the way up to the very north. We go through this tunnel that we got to remember to pay for, and then we're going to pop out at our little town. Got one more stop there. We got a final stop where we're staying in a dome, and then we go in 2 mornings time to Sweden. She's angry. She needs some food. It's the realities of traveling. When you get hungry and tired and cold, you get hangry. That's where relationships fall down. That's where you need to lean back on communication. You need to come back to your roots. That's what I'm really good at. I don't get hangry myself. I just stay level, emotionally stable the whole time. And that's what you need in a relationship. One of you is going to be the strong pillar and the foundation and the rock, which is me, obviously. And then you get the moping little child.
That was
Vamos! Pretty lazy as these go.
Plunged, infrared sauna.
Oh, and what's this? Another. Alrighty, day 5. This is the first gym that we've actually found. Yeah, first gym in Iceland, which, as I said, this has been like the least amount of gym work that I've done in a long, long time. So this morning we're starting off with some strength work. I'm just going to go heavy reverse lunges, 6 reps each side. We'll do 4 to 5 sets. Then we're going to move to row. It was meant to be ski erg, but it's going to be row and assault bike. We've got 3 minutes at 70% heart rate, 3-minute rest, move to the next machine. Then we do 2 minutes and 80% heart rate, 2-minute rest, move to the next machine. And then we've got 1 minute at like a 90 to 95% heart rate. Move to the next machine after that, and then we're going to do sprints on the assault bike, 10 times 10. So pretty meaty session, and yeah, pretty keen to train though. It's been like first time to like actually move some weight around in a little while, so looking forward to it.
Gotta keep it moving, never losing your faith. Cause times get hard, but you're finding your way. Thinking in my story how everything changed, and I realized one day we've been on a move.
Right there. Guys, since I've seen water, I built this fender with my bare hands. Heading back. I just messed up. I kept the jumper because I loved it that much.
I was taping, but I had zero experience.
Oh, alrighty, good morning. Strong brew of coffee. It's now about 11 a.m. and although I wish every morning was a slow, cinematic morning like that, the reality is most of my mornings start about 6 a.m. I got up around 5:30 today. Coffee, had some water first, hydrate after you sleep. Coffee, straight into some work. The reality is you don't get to be beautiful places like this if you don't put in a lot of time behind the laptop actually getting shit done. So from 6 a.m. till about now, 11 a.m., just been working, finishing off a bunch of things I need to do. Had a bunch of meetings with accountants, which is a very boring thing to be doing. We're sorting out a bunch of accounts, and something that you don't realize is when you grow and you grow at such a speed, things like your accounts, your bookkeeping, all of those things tend to break very, very quickly, particularly when you're running multiple businesses like I am. You get to a point where you need to go back and reconcile all of these and have it in a neat and orderly way. So we just brought on a CFO who's coming on part-time to help us sort all of that out. Also setting up a bunch of stuff. I'm launching a new tech project while I get my other one finished, which is more on the visual storytelling side. This tech project is on the verbal storytelling side. So I think what I've realized as we're expanding Amplify to more avatars and people outside of just health, but also in the wealth space, there's a growing demand to learn how to script, how to ideate, how to film, and how to edit sort of talking head style content. What I've found is as I've grown my own audience, I've dabbled between visual storytelling, which is predominantly on Alfie Gets Hard. If you see the Instagram reels, they're very visual dominant. The reason why I visual storytell is I have a natural eye for visual storytelling. It's something I've always gravitated towards. If I rewind time way, way back, if I think about even the montages that I used to watch when I was a kid, playing things like Call of Duty and watching those sniper montages, I used to love those. So I've always had an eye or an interest in visual storytelling, and it's reflected in my content. I knew though going to the wealth category, when you start explaining complex ideas and problems, you need to be able to articulate it very well. And to do that, I needed some sort of verbal storytelling to be able to communicate well to my audience. This type of storytelling that you take on when you go between visual, verbal, and written is just a vessel for you to share that idea. The pure purpose, more than anything, function over design, is the ability to get your message across. So as I've realized that, and as I've realized more people coming in probably need verbal storytelling to build more authenticity, more trust, but also get across complex ideas, I'm building a tool to do that. It's a combination of scripting / done for you editing as well. So my whole thing is how can we lower the barrier to content creation? And I think one of the biggest barriers is people don't know what to ideate, so what to speak on. They don't know how to script it. They don't know how to do piece to camera content, whether that's the visual aesthetic behind them, whether that's articulating themselves. So it's almost like a speech pathologist in a way as well, because when you become a content creator, you are upskilling in so many different things, right? You are upskilling in how to ideate. So you're basically becoming a creative director of your life, capturing ideas and making sure they're winning ideas. You're becoming a scriptwriter, which copywriters is like a whole industry in roles. You're becoming a videographer. You have to learn how to film yourself. You have to learn how to speak. So you've got to get very good at public speaking, or at least private speaking, but to a camera, which is weird. I'm literally holding this camera. This is not natural. It's not natural to hold a camera like this. You've got to become an editor. And all of these roles in their own, and a social media manager, all of these roles in their own are like individual roles in a business. So when you embark on your content journey, you're actually upskilling in like 5 or 6 different functions all at once, and you're wearing multiple hats just to create one video. So I think that's what people don't understand, and they go, oh, content's really hard. It's like, of course it's hard. You're learning how to script, film, edit, and post all at once, and understand the algorithm, and make sure you're speaking to your ICP, getting clear on your avatar, getting clear on your message, on your values. All of these things people pay tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to learn at universities or from consultants, or get other people to do in their business, and they pay them on salary hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. So of course it's hard, of course it's difficult. That's what makes it valuable once you achieve it. So for me, the morning was spent a little bit working on the business, which I see as developing the tech, the tools, briefing developers, working with them. Also looking at teeing up a live call and sort of webinar style chat with Higher Up Wellness, Michael Smoke, who I got connected through Chris Griffin, who runs the Pocket Podcast. So I was grateful for that. And now we are going to keep driving through. We've got one more stop in Iceland, so we're going to drive basically down that way. We've got the final little bit of our trip left, and we're going to go stay in a dome today. But yeah, a few things to do in the business. It's definitely like turning into crunch time. From here, we go to Sweden to go and see my godmother. Never been to Sweden before, so that'll be awesome. And then we go to St. Moritz. We're staying in a really nice hotel there and just going to put the head down and work. So yeah, there's a few things coming, but I'm getting very ready just to be locked in an office and working. We're also hiring some key people at the moment, which has been really interesting. So key hires have been on the fulfillment side, looking at like this concierge of success. I think anyone who runs a coaching business knows one of the biggest struggles with a coaching business is how do you hold people accountable to actually do the work that they paid to get access to actually complete the coursework and the things that you have given them. So one of our biggest things is how do we increase the amount of engagement and activity of each member and ensure that they are getting the most out of the community, because all the information's there. I know that if they go through it properly and they apply it, it's going to win. That's why we have such great results. The problem is life gets in the way, right? People sign up, they pay us to be a part of the community, and then life gets in the way for whatever reason it is. Work gets busy, partner, relationship stress, their health breaks down. There's so many things that get in the way, and that's what we're up against and fighting against. So we're investing heavily into client success and ensuring that we call every single member. We want to make that a weekly occurrence is the goal. And we want to have so many touch points that no matter what happens in terms of life, we can adjust, we can build around that and ensure that they're getting the most out of the program. Because I think anyone who's got a coaching service, whether it's getting someone in shape, whether it's building someone's business, building someone's content, you will know that one of the hardest things is holding people accountable to actually do the things that you set out for them to do. Whether it's building a program for them, following a nutrition plan, implementing a content strategy, the hardest part is in the action and implementation. And unless you're selling done for you, but even in most done for you elements, you can't fully do it for them. For example, if I do a done for you content service, they still have to film the content. They still have to provide me with at least something, unless I'm sending videographers to them. Again, they still have to show up. They have to allocate the time to it. So the hardest thing is when people or clients come in and they don't allocate the time, what do we do with those clients? And there's a lot of people in the industry who would just say, oh, well, that's their fault. They've paid, they're a part of it now. But we're refusing to do that. So our ethos is no content creator left behind, no coach left behind. So we're investing heavily in how we can actually get those people back on track or flag them before they even get off track and ensure that from day dot, they have the highest level of accountability. And if they need things adjusted, if they need things changes, we're there to make those changes. So it's more touch points, more humanization. I think as the world goes to digital, we need more human touch points, and that's the most important thing. For me, I'm in a period of my life where I'm 26 now. I'm willing to invest pretty heavily back into the business. And I'm not trying to pull a lot of profit out. I'm trying to invest heavily into the business and really turn this into something that no one else has built. And I think the direction we're heading and the investment that we're putting back into it, and with everything we've got going, it's heading that way. So I'm excited for the future. Let's get on the road. Alright, we've made it back to Reykjavik, where we need to get a gym session. We were going to go to Thor's gym, but it's closed. But luckily I just gave Magnus a call, and Magnus is someone who's part of Amplify. He's from Iceland, and he actually reached out without knowing I was going to Iceland and said, if you're ever in Iceland, you should come to my gym. So I just gave him a call, and he's going to meet us in the gym. That's about 10 minutes away.
Oh mate, thank you so much.
No problem.
Nice to meet you in person.
Yeah, same.
This is George.
Hey, bro.
George is from the...
Here's a little motivation. I'm just here to give a little inspiration. Yeah, I got goals that I'm chasing. The throne vacant is mine for the taking. Yeah.
So as you're saying, Magnus has got... Is Magnus how you say it?
100%, yeah.
Magnus just got married, and I asked him if he had the check, because in Iceland there's only 380,000 people, so the family trees are very connected. And Burge was telling me there's actually an app
Yeah, there is.
that you can check
Yeah,
if the
yeah.
family trees align, which is crazy. So that's
we
good.
checked and we're not related, yeah.
Yeah. You're like,
So
yes.
we're good.
So it's like, the second you know you're not related, you just marry
Yes.
straight away. We've made it to the airport. We're flying from here to Stockholm. We're saying goodbye to lovely George, who's come all the way from the UK to join us for our Iceland trip, and we'll be cooking up this vlog that you just watched. From there, we go to St. Moritz up to Stockholm. We're in St. Moritz for like a week, staying actually with one of my Pure Body clients at a place called Butcher's Palace, which I'm super keen to show you guys. I'll be vlogging that myself. I don't have a videographer, so prepare for less cinematic footage. But yeah, Iceland's been awesome. Shout out to Beji, who we caught up with on the first day, and Magnus, who we caught up on the last day. They both showed us around, both from Iceland. There's only 380,000 people, so to know two people in Iceland's pretty epic, and that's thanks to like creating content, I guess. But yeah, it was an awesome trip. Definitely want to come back in winter. I feel like summer we got a lot of rain. It was pretty wet, but it was still very beautiful. So yeah, goodbye, George.
has to go. He's got a 15-minute walk to his gate.
Yeah, I don't know. Bye-bye.
Bye, George.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for coming. It was great to meet you.
Thanks for having me.
We will see you in the next one.